Dun 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 dun. I'm ready. I feel like it's time. I feel like I was born ready for this. I was born ready for this. All right, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Let's do it now. All right, we're live. Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Right. I don't know where that voice just came from. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 5. Are we on episode 5? I believe we're on episode 5 of Opinews.
I think we are. Opinews.
Opinews, the show that brings you all the latest in e-commerce news and digital marketing news every Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in the world. And not only is it news, but we also like to stir it up a little bit with a little bit of an opinion thrown in there. You know what we're talking about. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome, guys. All the bullshit's over. Right, let's talk about some news today. We've got some interesting topics coming up. This week, it's probably going to be a bit of a quicker episode, but there's some interesting stuff going on. We've got the new fastest growing startup in Europe to discuss with you guys, and what it kind of means for the way that kind of the direction that e-commerce is moving into. I'm not going to give too much information here, but we've got Ashton Kutcher stirring shit up a little bit in the world with his money, which is always fun and exciting, and that includes a really interesting startup related to meats, and I'm sure many of you also know about his a recent donation of his on the Ellen show, Ellen DeGeneres. I can't ever say her surname, DeGeneres. So that's happening. And then we've got an interesting bit of news from Amazon, which isn't actually kind of new news. It's a little bit old news, maybe about a month old, but it's still very interesting news and relevant to some of the previous news we've had. And therefore we've decided to add it into today's show. And that is that. So without further ado, let's jump into today's topics. Mattress retailer Emma is the fastest growing startup in Europe. Now, the reason this is in there is for a number of reasons. The reason is for a number of reasons. That makes sense. You know what I'm trying to say. It's early in the morning here, guys. Forgive me. Now, this is super interesting to me because I first heard of a mattress being sold online probably about 2 years ago when Shopify ran a build a store competition. I don't know what the actual build a profitable business or something. I don't know what the actual name of it was called. Basically, whoever could build a store in I think it was a year or 6 months or something and make the most money or make the most profit from that store would get the reward from Shopify would be they'd be sent to Necker Island, Richard Branson's island, and they'd be there with Richard Branson and Tim Ferriss and a couple of other people, I don't know who, and they'd have a week of mentoring from these guys and all this and everything paid for. Basically just like your dream entrepreneurship holiday vacation. Just sounds absolutely amazing. The guys that won this competition a couple of years ago were a company called Linda, right? And Linda, you can type, I'm pretty sure it's just lynda.com. They make mattresses and sell them online. And this was a massive eye opener for me because it was just like, I'm pretty sure it's called Linda, lynda.com. No, it's not, because that's the, learning website. Linda
website, yeah.
Linda mattress. Let me just look it up. Linda. Oh no, Lisa. It was Lisa, right? I'm getting myself confused. LEESA.com. Lisa.com. And these guys were selling mattresses online, and I couldn't believe it because I was used to this world of e-commerce where it was difficult to get people to buy online when they didn't know whether they were going to like the product or not, and they're scared of returns and returns problems and all that kind of stuff. And so I didn't think that it'd be possible to sell mattresses online. You know, clothes were a big challenge 5-10 years ago because people didn't know whether it was going to fit them. So why would people buy a mattress online if they're not sure if they're going to like the mattress? It seems like a really, really difficult thing to sell online. And hey, Lisa grew really quickly and they won this competition. And now we've got news this week of Emma. I don't know why they're all women's names here, but Emma is now the fastest growing startup in Europe, and they sell mattresses. And the reason, excuse me there, it's appalling. I've got my phone not switched on silent. I've been telling Christian off for his phone all morning. What is absolutely amazing about that is that it really shows to me that we are really progressing in the world of e-commerce, that there is basically, there's nothing you can't sell. Is that double negative? There's nothing you can't sell. No, that makes sense. There's nothing you can't sell online anymore, right? So any reservations you've had about, oh my God, well, I'm not sure if I want to sell these socks online because, people don't really buy socks online. People will buy fucking anything nowadays, guys. They're buying mattresses.
Anything.
Right? This is crazy.
They've been selling mattresses in Romania for the last 5 or 6 years, and it's crazy. I'll tell you what, when your back hurts, you won't care how much you'll spend on a mattress. If you're not getting enough sleep, then you'll get grumpy and you'll pay the price and you'll get it shipped to your house. I'm at that point, and I have a friend that owns a mattresses business. So I'm gonna buy a mattress without testing it and just going for their word.
There you go. I highly like the idea, and I think it's amazing. And I think the big takeaway on that is that you can sell anything online these days. If people are selling mattresses, you can sell whatever the hell you want. Hell, people have sold drugs and guns on Silk Road. You can sell whatever you want. I'm not suggesting in the slightest that you should sell drugs or guns or anything illegal for that matter. But the point is, you can sell anything nowadays. So go for it. Don't be afraid. Don't keep waiting for that idea. Don't keep waiting to start that project that you've been thinking about for the past 5 years. Go and do it now, because we're at a point where people are so goddamn comfortable buying things online. You've got to go and do it. So there you go. That's
and it's getting better every day.
It's getting better every day, but now we're at a point where it's like, it's already really fucking good. So go and do it, right? Go and get stuck in.
Do it.
Our next news article for today is a little news article from Ashton Kutcher here, and it's a little interesting article about how Ashton Kutcher and Madrona. Okay, that says Madrona here, and I'm hoping that's a typo because I thought it was Madonna. Oh no, it's Madrona Venture Group.
Madrona.
That's really changed my whole perception of this article. Anyway, it's a really cool startup. They're kind of two sides to this story. Really cool startup, based in, I don't know where, in the States somewhere. And it's called Crowd Cow, and they are offering ranch to table meats. And they've received an $8 million investment from this Madrona Venture Group and Ashton Kutcher. Now, what's interesting about this, there are a couple of things. The first one is that this is really cool. It's changing the kind of the meat industry. And what they're really trying to do is stop having meat as a commodity and be aware of the fact there are different types of meats, different types of cows that are raised on different feeds, even different types of grass will affect the quality or the flavor of the cow meat. And so they're creating this service, that will allow people in the States to order their meat online and be very, very specific and have a lot of information about where their meat is coming from, directly from the farm, knowing that it's fresh. And I think this kind of stuff is great because personally, I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. I do think that we are meat eaters, but I completely agree that we have a problem with overpopulation on the planet, and it's just become awful the way that we raise animals, and it's become awful the way that we produce meat, and the actual CO2 emissions that causes. And I think any step in a better direction with regards to just the way we approach meat and the way we deal with it and the way we respect the quality of the meat that's put on our table is really, really good. So, I'm a massive fan of this kind of project.
Not quantity, but quality.
Very much so. Very much so. And not, for your health as well, as much for the well-being of the animal and for the well-being of the planet. Well-being, you know what I mean. So I think this is a really, really cool startup here, and I'm really excited to see where these guys go. I would personally love to have startup like this in the countries that I live in, in Mexico or in the UK or in Spain or something like that. But unfortunately, there isn't anything like that at the moment. But yeah, really, really cool little project. Now, interestingly, we've seen an investment from Ashton Kutcher. Now, we don't know exactly how much he has invested into this, but I'm sure most of us listening to this podcast will know that Ashton Kutcher's a bit of a wild child when it comes to investments, or not wild child as the case may be. He's actually very, very smart and very clever, and a very good investor. So interestingly, this article has come out very recently. Excuse me, it's only come out just this week. However, we also have another kind of bit of news from Ashton Kutcher, and it's probably something more people have heard of, which was Ashton Kutcher making a very, very large donation on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And he's made a donation of $4 million for her charity, right? Which is an insane amount. It doesn't take me to tell you that. It's a fucking crazy amount of money. And he's done it through a transfer of XRP. So it's $4 million worth of XRP right now, valued on what the currency is worth right now, which is Ripple for anyone who doesn't know out there, which is a cryptocurrency for anyone who doesn't know out there, which is like Bitcoin for anyone that doesn't know out there. So he's heavily invested. Apparently, this is something I've learned from seeing this. He's heavily invested in Ripple, and I don't know why he's done it. I guess a big part of it will be from the kindness of his heart, I'm sure. But I'm sure there's also a part of it as a bit of a publicity stunt for Ripple to help kind of support Ripple. And I don't know in what way. I don't know how that kind of thing is going to affect Ripple, and I haven't checked the prices of Ripple and whether it's been affected by this at all. But I should think it will be affected at some point. So that's very strange. So we've got Ashton Kutcher suddenly kind of popping up in 1 week. These are actually both articles from the same day, and he's made kind of a lot of, one very large donation and another, we can assume, fairly large investment. I think they've raised the Crowd Cow company has raised $8 million. So we don't know what percentage of that is Ashton Kutcher and what percentage is Madrona Venture Capital or whatever they're called, Venture Group. But it's safe to say that Ashton Kutcher's invested in that company as well. So Ashton Kutcher's splashing the cash right now, which is kind of cool. Interesting. So if you've got to start,
why Ripple and why XRP and not Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Well, because he's invested in Ripple. He's invested as he does a lot of angel investing. He's not just invested in the sense of buying some Ripple and holding it. He's invested in the company of Ripple.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
He'll have shares in the company or something like that. He does a lot of angel investment stuff. So that's kind of interesting, kind of strange stuff. Let's keep our eyes open for Ashton Kutcher these coming weeks, because the guy is on a rampage and he's spending big bucks. Let's see where he goes with that one. And last but not least, we have a final news article, which is a little bit old, this news article, but since it's been such a big topic on Opinews recently, we thought we just had to bring it up. And that is the fact that Amazon, let's backtrack a little bit. If you go back to our second episode or third episode or fourth episodes of Opinews, I'm pretty sure in most of them there's some kind of talk of Amazon and Walmart going head to head, and Walmart having purchased this Indian company, Flipkart, and for an extortionate amount of money. I think they only actually took 70% of the shares because they actually wanted to bring other companies on board to give them a bigger force to be able to take on Amazon in India. And Amazon has been doing incredibly well in India recently. They've had a lot of growth in the past year, but Flipkart is the kind of e-commerce giant over there. The Amazon is kind of more like, it's like the Jet, I suppose, of India. And so it's been a very successful company with a lot of growth, and Walmart has pretty much fully acquired, this company. And it turned out, this is something we didn't realize when we were talking about this news previously, that Amazon had actually made a counter offer to Flipkart. So they made an offer to Flipkart. So so Walmart was in discussions to buy a majority stake valued at 10 billion to 12 billion USD. Did we get anything here on the actual amount? I don't think I can find it. Amazon has offered Flipkart a slightly higher valuation than the 18 to 20 billion valuation offered by Walmart. In addition, the e-commerce giant's bid also comes with a breakup fee of 1.5 to 2 billion, said one person. The Amazon bid, the person said, is pegged at about 22 to 23 billion US dollars. So it's kind of interesting that this is a real head to head. Like, this is not like they're trying to be like quiet about this. No, Walmart and Amazon are going to war right now. And who the hell's going to win? I don't know. My feeling is that even if Walmart were to win, it still wouldn't really affect Amazon in the whole grand scheme of things. They'll just be successful elsewhere. Whereas if Walmart loses this war, they may be putting a lot on the line. So I think it'd be kind of interesting to see how that unfolds. I don't know. What do you think, Christian? Who do you think is going to win?
Indeed. I think they'll kill Flipkart eventually.
Amazon. I think so. Yeah, right. But I think Walmart will win the bid. Maybe they've already won it. I don't know. This is the worst news ever. I'm sorry. But I think Flipkart will stick with Walmart, and I do think Amazon will eventually kick Flipkart out of the Indian culture or whatever e-commerce market.
Or it will take up so much of the market share that Flipkart won't matter.
There you go. Exactly. So we've got a big battle coming up, guys. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens there. And I think that's about everything for today's show. People, let me just highlight. People are buying mattresses, so go out there and sell whatever the hell you want. If people are buying mattresses online, then go and do it. Keep your eyes out for Ashton Kutcher and his funky farm animals being delivered to your door, as well as his XRP, his Ripple cryptocurrency going through the roof, which I should expect that. To see some real big growth coming soon if he's really getting behind the brand. And keep your eyes open for the Amazon Walmart war, because it is happening right now and it won't be ending anytime soon. It's going to be happening throughout the rest of 2018 and possibly 2019 as well. And who knows how many years after that. So keep your eyes glued to the screen. Keep listening to this podcast. Keep listening to Opinews every week. And that's all we ask of you guys. As always, I've been Charlie Center.
And I've been Cristiano Pre.
Dun 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 dun.
Whatever the fuck that was.